Welcome students. We'll continue with our chapter on reproduction. So in reproduction part we have completed. We are going to, yesterday only I have told you about fertilization. Now we'll just in very short I will tell you what is this fertilization. Fertilization is a fusion. Okay. See, fertilization definition very easy to write. Fusion of what? Fusion of male gametes. Okay, male gamete plus female gamete. Okay, male gamete plus female gamete. This fusion, this process is called as fertilization. Alright children, did you understand? Fertilization is a fusion of male gamete with the female gamete. Now when I say male gamete, you already know what it is. It is sperm. Okay, and when I say female gamete, what is it? I hope you know it. O-V-U-M, ovum. Ovum is singular. Ova is plural. Okay, so sperm plus ovum. You know it gives rise to, what does it give rise to? Sperm plus ovum. It gives rise to zygote. Okay, you all know this. Already we have done it in the initial classes. We have done this. Alright, this zygote will further produce. What does it produce? It produces the embryo, and later on it comes to fetus. Okay children, you have to remember this. Okay students, see, sperm is male gamete. It fuses with the ovum and gives rise to zygote. See, ovum is also called as egg. Okay, just remember, egg. Ovum is also called as egg. So the fertilized egg is called as zygote. Fertilized egg means what is happening? Fusion. Fusion of male gamete with female gamete is called as, what is it? Fertilization. Now this fertilization can be of two types. Okay, we will see the two types of fertilization. One is external fertilization. Okay, external. And the second one is called as the internal fertilization. The name itself suggests you. What does it suggest? External. External means outside. You can write it in bracket so that you will remember the keyword and you will be able to write the definition of external fertilization. So what can be the definition of external fertilization? The fertilization which takes place outside the body. Now just compare yourself. You were all born inside your mother's womb, isn't it? Inside your mother's womb. So inside means whether it is external or internal. It is internal. So internal comes with inside. When it takes place inside the female body, it is called as internal fertilization. So if you remember, external fertilization examples many aquatic animals like frog, okay, fishes. These are all the examples of which fertilization? External. Okay, so write the example also: frog, fishes, many aquatic animals. When we come to internal, you have seen many mammals like dogs, okay, cats, human beings. Okay, so these are all the examples of internal fertilization. So did you get the two types of fertilization? First is definition of fertilization. So remember, fertilization, F, fusion. Okay, fertilization, fusion. Fusion of what? Male gamete with female gamete. And it gives rise to zygote. This zygote further produces embryo. And when that embryo will develop that hands, legs, when it is divided into different organs, it is later called as fetus. Fertilization, two types. External fertilization and internal fertilization. External means it takes place outside the body. Internal is it takes place inside the body. Examples: frog, fishes, aquatic animals. Inside means you can remember dogs, cats, human beings. So these are all. So it's all there on page number 60. Okay. So these are all the types of fertilization. Two types: external, internal. You have to go through it. I think there is 60 page number. On the top there is definition of fertilization. I think last class we underlined. Just below that there is internal fertilization. So internal fertilization is taking place inside the body. Okay, first 3 lines for internal fertilization. Example is given: insects, snakes, lizards, birds, mammals. I have written here human beings. Human beings, it is mammal. So this is internal fertilization. So now develop internal means it is taking place in which body? In female body. Female. Okay. So female body means now we have our female reproductive system. You remember pair of ovaries. There is a fallopian tube. After that comes uterus. Yesterday we told uterus. Then we talked about vagina. Okay. So uterus. You are telling mother's womb, no? That is the uterus, not stomach part. It's the lower part. That is where the development of the embryo takes place. That means this zygote will go and settle down where? In the uterus. Small one, small cell. Okay. And when it is in the uterus, it gets implanted. Implanted means how seed gets implanted in the soil. Same way this embryo gets implanted and slowly development will start. So we say no, mother should eat healthy food, so that the child or the baby also will get the nutrition. So mother, whatever she eats, no, that is going to the embryo, and that embryo will develop slowly. For how many months? For 9 months. This period of development is called as gestation period. This period is called as gestation period. So how many months is the gestation period for human beings? It is how many months? 9 months. Okay, 9 months. Gestation period. Definition is there on page number 60. Okay, first we will see what is this embryo. Embryo, I think second paragraph, development of embryo, second paragraph, the developing structure. The developing structure is termed as embryo, underline. Okay, then we have the definition, next paragraph here, definition of fetus. When the embryo develops fully and all the parts are distinct. Distinct means when all legs, hands, okay, all your parts are clear, no? Then it is called as fetus, underline. And that period, pregnancy period, how many months we said? It is 9 months or 270 to 280 days. See? This many days takes the development of the embryo. So understood? How many months? 9 months, 280 days you are in mother's womb. See how great your mother is, because she was bearing you in her womb. Followed? So because of her pains only you are in this world today. So this pregnancy period or this gestation period is for the development of zygote to embryo, from embryo to fetus, and then comes the young one after 9 months. Right? Now if you just see, sometimes you compare yourself, isn't it? You just look at your father and tell, "Hey, father, I got your nose." Or you tell, "Mother, I got your legs shape, eyes." Huh? You talk to your mother and father. Sometimes you get it from your grandparents, sometimes they say, "Hey, you look like your uncle," same. Or you have the features of your auntie. So these characters we are telling. Understood? Why this character is resembling? Resembling means followed. You resemble your auntie, you resemble your uncle, or you resemble your father. You are not a Xerox copy of your father, okay, or Xerox copy of your mother. But there are some things like the shape of your ear, shape of your nose, or your eye color. Some things you resemble, okay, shape of your fingers or nails. So like this, some resemblances are there because we are undergoing which type of reproduction? It is sexual reproduction. So some characters will come from mother, some characters will come from father, or it can be something which is coming from your ancestors, that is your great grandparents or auntie, someone. Okay, so if you see page number 61, you can see they have given one table there, name of your friend. Suppose you are writing your friend's name, Dheeraj, Suraj, someone in your class, and you are finding out the organ, nose. He is telling my nose resembles to my mother. So he will say yes in this column. So character which resembles to his father, eye, if his eye is same. Or sometimes his eye is resembling to his auntie. So these are some things which we can discuss. Followed? So now these characters reproduction. Alright. Now normally our fertilization is inside mother's womb. But you have you heard about this term? It is there in that box. It is called as test tube babies. Okay. What is the meaning of this test tube babies? Okay. Test tube babies means don't think that test tube which we use in our lab. Not this test tube. Okay. Test tube babies means here what is happening? The womb is not used for the development of the fetus or embryo. They are doing all the process in the external atmosphere, that is in the lab. Understood? Laboratories are there, labs are there where sperm will be taken. Okay, sperm from male and ovum from female, and they fuse it together in external environment, not in mother's womb. And there is formation of what? Zygote. Then this zygote is later on placed in mother's womb. So there the child will develop in mother's womb. Understood? This is something which we are doing outwardly in the external environment. So it is called as test tube babies. Okay, don't get confused. Test tube babies means not that this baby is developed in a test tube here. No. Okay, this is done in the lab conditions. So it is called as test tube babies. This is called as IVF. IVF means in vitro. In vitro means in the lab. In the lab, fertilization. In vitro fertilization. So it is there on page number 61 in that table, in that box. So just see fifth line in that box, fifth, IVF, in vitro fertilization. So our internal fertilization is over. Now we will start with the external fertilization. External means what? Taking outside the body. Outside the body. Okay. So external fertilization definition is 2 lines. Okay. External. Underline. Okay. Everyone, external fertilization. So this is external fertilization. So when you come to external fertilization, just see. On page 62 there is a figure 13, life cycle of frog. Everyone has seen frog. So this frog, how it is developing? It is developing from the small, you have seen tadpole, it is called as tadpole. Okay. So from tadpole, if you remember in 7th class, you have learned about the life cycle of silkworm. You remember? Cocoon, larva. Okay, when you check, lastly you get that butterfly, or that you get that butterfly shape. So that means what is happening? The changes are taking place, drastic change. If you see the young one, it is not at all resembling the adult. But when you see our small baby will have some resemblance with the adult, isn't it? The child will have 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 ears, same like our adult, only size will be smaller. So this changes, drastic changes takes place. That change is called as metamorphosis. So just come to page number, page 62. So underline, such animals undergo a process called metamorphosis. Transformation of shape of the body, underline. Life cycle. So this life cycle of frog, you are undergoing drastic change from small. If you see the life cycle here, this is the first stage, tadpole, like fish. And when it comes, you can see the big frog there. Okay, bigger one. So metamorphosis very nicely is explained in points to remember. 67 page, metamorphosis can be explained there. Just see page number metamorphosis. Yes, last but one point, the transformation of larva into adult, through which changes? Through drastic change. Drastic means full change. Last but one point. So metamorphosis means which changes? It is called as drastic change. Okay, drastic changes. From where the young one is called, what is it called? Larva to adult. In which animal we are talking? In frog. Okay. So these drastic changes are called as metamorphosis. So if you see that next figure there, figure 15. You can see one frog is sitting on the other frog. Okay. So here what is happening here? That that process here in frog, it is called as copulation. Copulation means male is trying to insert what? Sperm into the ovum, so that there will be what? Fertilization. Okay, this copulation process is taking place. All followed this? See, later on that will be released, so that what will happen? These frogs will release the sperm and the ovum, and it is coming outside. So many will be there. Alright, all the eggs will be released, and actually our activity or project work is there on 63 page. This is done during rainy season, where there will be so many eggs seen in the pond, lake, and these eggs are collected and kept in water, where you can store them and check out the development for how many days this egg will turn. So this is copulation and release of sperm and egg. And how is the fertilization in frog? External or internal? External, because it is laying its eggs and laying its sperms outside, okay, in the water, so that there will be fusion. Alright, so everyone, this is all about the life cycle of who? Frog. Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means from larva to adult. So just behind on page 65, you can see the one story of Dolly. Okay, what is that story of Dolly? We will do in the next class. So hope you all followed the lesson. See you in the next class. Thank you.